Good morning. It is Wednesday, June 14th. Time for our Places of Opposites reading today, which goes back from the previous weekend, June 9th and 10th, all the way through next Wednesday, which will be the 21st. It's hard to believe that we are getting that close to summer solstice and that June is well underway. Seems like we just started these videos back in March a few weeks ago, but it's been several months. So thank you for joining me on these journeys. Today we are using the Hanson Tarot and the Indigo Angels Oracle cards. So, and what I've been noticing about the energy is kind of a layered dichotomy, where on one hand there's this push to get things done, be on track, and make things flow in a certain timeline. And on the other level, there's a sleepiness or a just rest, just wait energy. And I find that a pretty interesting energy push-pull in this time of year. Usually the laziness or that sleepy feeling is not as present in June as some other months. That's what I'm noticing about the energy in general. As we choose our cards for today, we've got the top card, which is the things we're aware of. They're our mental focus. We know that they're going on. So for the top card, something like that one. The bottom card is the card opposite of that. So things that are kind of pushing things along, driving the ship that we're not as aware of or aware of at all, kind of subconscious or unconscious, or things outside ourselves. The card from the left is our mental acuity, our analytical abilities, and where we're coming from. And the card to the right is our emotional wisdom. It's and our intuition and where we're going to. Sorry, I was listening. 3 cards really for that part. Interesting. And the center card is I think it's that one. The center card is the resolution, if you're asking a question, or the energy that ties it all together, the theme, if you will. Not quite sure where these cards want to go yet, so. Oh, just that one. Okay. But it flipped over for us in the reading. You are loved. So just looking at this, and maybe that's why there's that push-pull feeling, those different layers of energy, what you should be doing, what you want to be doing. Regardless, know that where you are on your path, you are very, very loved. You are loved certainly by the angels and God, but also just a reminder that as you make changes or as you go forward, there are core people in your life that love you very much. And that even as you change and grow and become mysterious to them, they may not recognize you for a little while as you're making changes, they still love you. And that's a support system for you, a security that you can count on. So. All right, so at the top, we have the 4 Swords. This is a foundational card, and it is really to take time out and notice where your thoughts are. Kind of take a break from the random thoughts that wear you out, and just put your mind to rest for a little bit and get your bearings, and As you quiet your thoughts, you'll notice that the majority of them fall away. There might be one or two that are persistent and present, and those are good to put a pin in or make note of. But as you quiet your mind, then you can just have that moment of relaxation. And underneath it is the Six of Pentacles. That's an interesting card, especially opposite of the Four of Swords. Looking at this energy, you are being driven, being motivated by wanting to have a stable financial base that takes care of you, that you can give out to your community, that there's a lot of give and take. It's less about recognition and more about just being able to be there as part of the community, as part of your family, to provide for yourself and to be able to give out your knowledge, your skills, and your support to your family, to your community. I keep getting community. And to be a part of the community, not just to donate without, but like interact and being a part of what you're giving out. Like a puzzle piece that clicks in and fits, and it's not impersonal. It's a very personal connection. So, and they're saying to look at these opposite of each other. The desires of your heart and to connect, and the need to quiet your thoughts about it, the need to quiet your judgments, the need to kind of relax into it and allow that this is very important to you, this connection of community, and you don't have to struggle to figure out how it works mentally or what's appropriate. That you can relax mentally and almost fall into this connection. And from the left, we have the Lovers. This came up, I don't know if this last place is opposite or just kind of recently, but as the choice card, making choices from your heart. So that makes sense that that's where we're coming from. I also see that there's a need to take into account your partner's feelings on things, or at least their thoughts. That, you know, talk things over with them, get their opinions, get their thoughts, and allow that to be a piece of your thinking process, your analytical process. A lot of times we take our partners for granted, that we know what they're thinking or we know how they're feeling. And this is to actually ask them, and they may have an insight that surprises you, or a need that you weren't aware of. And they may actually have, it just looks like a lot of assistance for you, things that they've been thinking about, that, and a perspective that is refreshing for you. So moving into, we've got 3 cards for the emotional wisdom. So we have the Empress, we have the 9 of Cups, and we have the 7 of Cups. So our emotional wisdom may be a little bit cloudy right now. And it looks like you're full on embracing your emotional wisdom, and you're full on embracing the joys of creating and what you want, but there seems to be a choice between the things that are already filling you up and that you have a good handle on, and choices about new things that you want to try and how to balance all those things. Sometimes it's hard to set down or give away the things that we've already accumulated, or to share them. We like to hold on to them, be a little bit miserly, afraid that they're going to disappear. And this Empress card says, don't fear that. You're always creating, you're always creating, you're always creating. And as you always create, you have more to share. And this card is asking you from a very spiritual place, beyond your emotional wisdom, into your spiritual wisdom, to look at the choices of the things that fulfill you, and to focus on 1 or 2 that heal your heart and heal your life. and to be cautious of the ones that are more tempting to throw away the big ones for little ones that are right now. So don't take your eyes off of the big things that fill you up spiritually and mentally, or spiritually and emotionally. Make sure that you're taking those into account. Doesn't mean you can't try some other things, but just make sure that you're not sacrificing the important things for little things. And in the center, we have the King of Swords. You feel strongly that you have to be stepping up into this leadership role, and you take it very seriously. And you want to be fair to all those involved, and you want to have strategy, and you want to really balance things out. The thing that I notice about this card immediately is the sorrow that is being experienced right here. Something about taking on this leadership mantle is very distressing to you. And it looks like it's because you haven't been able to figure out a way that balances things out equally for everyone. And so you have to make a difficult choice over how, and it's less about resources and more about attention or priorities. What things are going to get more attention and more priority, and that comes back to the Seven of Cups, of, you know, choosing wisely and making sure you've got the long term and the most important things in mind, as well as the things that are pushing at you right now. So and that's part of the balance key, you know, what's needed now, what's going to be needed in the future, how do you progress that way. So, but the bottom line as you're going through all of these things is to remember that you are loved, and that you can rely on that. You can sink into that as your support base, even as you're making decisions and trying to make choices that are new and a little bit wobbly for you. To quiet your mind and to enjoy being part of the community. Enjoy sharing your skills and your abilities, your wealth, whichever form of wealth that is that you have. So that's the Places of Opposites for today, June 14th. And I hope you have a very blessed week. And we'll see you next week, and hopefully even tomorrow for Thursday's card. Thanks. Have a good day.